Hi kids, how are you? Okay, today we are going to continue with our story about our friend, our little girl named Abby. Do you remember Abby? Yes, we all remember her because that day she was supposed to take a picture for picture day at school. That is why her mom came into her room to wake her up. So, do you remember what Abby wore that day? Yes, she wore her favorite purple dress. She knew that not everybody would like the dress, but she didn't mind because she thought she looked really nice for picture day. Now, this is very important to remember. Abby was brushing her teeth very hard, and suddenly one tooth fell out of her mouth into the sink. She looked at the mirror and saw that there was one tooth missing from her mouth. And she was so surprised and began to think of solutions for her problem. Do you remember what was her first idea to solve her problem? Yes, she went to look for her grandma's fake teeth to put them on and thought she would look nice for picture day. So, Abby put her grandma's teeth on her mouth, and they didn't look too well because they were too big for her. So she began to think of another solution. Do you remember what solution she thought about? She remembered her dad had used some vampire teeth for Halloween and thought she could use those teeth for picture day. So she put her dad's vampire teeth on her mouth, and there was a bigger hole in her mouth than before, and Napa was so scared. You see, kids, she had thought of two solutions that hadn't worked, but she never gave up. She had many ideas in her head and thought that she had another solution to find. What do you think that she thought would be a good idea? You won't imagine what Abby thought was a good idea to solve her tooth problem. You will never guess. She went to the kitchen and stood on a stool and grabbed the mini marshmallow bag that was in the kitchen, took a mini marshmallow and put it on her mouth, and thought that that was it. This was the perfect solution, so she could take her picture for picture day at school. Abby's mom went to the kitchen and saw Abby and asked her, Abby, are you ready for picture day today? And Abby smiled. And what happened when she smiled? The marshmallow she had in her mouth fell off, and there was a hole in her mouth once again. Abby was really frustrated and sad and was crying because she thought of many solutions and nothing had worked so well. She remembered that she needed to breathe and calm down. And in this way, she would activate her intelligence. And she also remembered that she could ask for help from her mom that was in the house, because sometimes two brains work better than one. So she went and looked for her mom. Abby went looking for her mom, and her mom hugged Abby very hard and told her that she understood her problem, but that she could see the problem in a different way. So she told Abby, Abby, you lose teeth once in a lifetime, and it is a milestone we can remember. And how could you remember this day if not by taking your picture day at school? Abby's mom came with a surprise for Abby. It was Abby's baby album, and she wanted to show Abby how she looked without any teeth when she was a baby, so that Abby could realize and have another point of view of the problem she was facing. Having teeth and losing teeth is part of growing up and happens once in a lifetime. And so, Abby, in picture day, would remember that forever. So kids, what do you think happened? Did Abby take her picture that day or not? Of course she took her picture that day, because she remembered what her mom had said. You lose teeth once in a lifetime, and you have to remember that day, that important day, forever. And taking the picture for picture day will remind Abby of that important lesson she would remember all her life. We have learned with Abby that we will face problems in our lives, and we have to do something very important. We have to breathe very deeply and calm down and find solutions. It is important to remember that we are not alone. In this case, Abby had her mom to help out. It is also important to have different points of view, because maybe by listening to other people, we can learn to solve our problems. So now we are ready for our time.